Good morning, UPBOptionWinners.com. It's Wednesday, October 26, 2016. The morning market video will start with the US dollar index. You can see here, beautiful bull flag pattern. Is it going to break out into triple digits? Yes, I think so. The question is it going to happen in the days and weeks ahead, or are we looking into the end of 2016, start of 2017 for a break into triple digits? The US dollar index now, because of the actions of the Federal Reserve and the central banks around the world taking the Federal Reserve's policies and running with it, the ECB, the Japanese. So the US dollar index is now the cleanest sheet of toilet paper in the waste recycling center. So you can see US dollar index actually pulling back today. And with the US dollar strength, we've been getting a pullback for S&P 500 futures. So I think this pullback that we're seeing this morning, we're down 0.4%, is going to get reversed. We've seen a lot of these pullbacks recently get bought. The latest one back on Friday, a nice move off the lows. Possibly come full circle to that, or put in a higher low here this morning before moving higher. We have earnings reports dragging down S&P 500 futures, namely Apple, which was up over 120, could not hold that level. But look at S&P 500 futures here. Still looks pretty strong to me over this 2100 level. That's support, and I think we're going to break out to new all-time record highs into the end of 2016. Let's look at some individual charts here. We'll start with GoPro. You can see this stock was down over 5-6% on Monday, I believe, but you can see it's putting in a set of higher lows here, and I think we're going to break out to the 20 level. Let's look at LMT, because this is something that we're looking to get into for earnings, and you can see this dramatic move. And this chart is really a lot similar to some of the charts that we've seen Netflix break out from, and some charts that are actually setting up for earnings reports in the weeks ahead, namely at Disney and a Baidu, that I think are going to have sharp moves here. So look at this move for Lockheed Martin, up over 7%. The 237.50 calls were $1. Those are closed up at about $12 yesterday. 1,200% move to the upside, and I think this is the start of a move up to new all-time record highs for Lockheed Martin. A chart again, I talked about Disney setting up reports earnings, I believe, next week. You can see the price action really starting to narrow down, and I think we're going to see a sharp move to the upside or the downside, leaning more biased towards upside. And I think we're going to see a move back into triple digits for Disney. Another chart also setting up into earnings. Thursday, I believe, Baidu. You can see the action here. We're above support here, and I think we're going to break into the 200 range for Baidu, also reporting earnings after the bell on Thursday. Google is broken out here of this wonderful bull flag. I think we're going to see a move up into the 900s for Google. Amazon reports earnings. The trend is your friend with a stock like Amazon, and you can see it continues to hold the trend line from the start of 2015. You can see the move more, almost a triple if we get up to the 900 level here for Amazon. The trend is your friend. And Facebook reports earnings next week, and you see it's really respected. This trend has yet to come back down to it since the middle of 2016. So negative move possible post earnings for Facebook next week. A couple other charts to look at. How about gold? Really, gold's been taking off. The gold miners had a strong start to the year, more than doubled here, the GDX. But look at this head and shoulders, possible head and shoulders pattern, topping pattern applied, and move back down to about 20, possible back into the teens. And you see this trend line here. It's actually a point that we came up to in 2016, could not break, pulled back, and finally burst through. Well, we saw a similar move once we got up to this trend line. We really saw a significant decline. And this goes back to 2009. You can see was former support in 2008, 2009. Now acting as resistance. We're now under it. So it's pretty bearish for GDX going forward. A couple other charts to look at. How about SSYS? The 3D printing stocks have been really taken to the woodshed in 2015, but starting to find a base, a bottom here. Possible breakout to the upside for SSYS, and VRX, another one that's really declined significantly, but recently putting in a series of higher lows. You can see it's over the $22 level yesterday. Had a nice little move to the upside. I think could be a start at least to the $30 level into the end of 2016. So right now, S&P 500 futures are lower. Let's look at the QQQ, and you can see bumping up against this trend line here, but I could see it just continuing to grind higher. Possible breakout over 120 for QQQ. IWM struggling, but find support this morning. The 120 level. Are we going to break through 125? So something to keep an eye on here, the US dollar index and the VXX, which we've seen in recent days with the market pulling back. VXX would actually be red. Yesterday was the first day where in the morning VXX was actually green, and you can see what happened. We had the pullback yesterday, continuation today, but again, the long-term trend for volatility to VXX has been down, and the market setting up, and look at QQQ, new all-time record highs. I think that is going to be what the S&P 500 is going to do in the months ahead. We have the election coming up, but you can see the breakout here for the S&P 500 ETF, the spiders. So earnings reports, Google, I think we're going to head higher. Baidu, higher. Disney, next week, higher. You could also look at Facebook next week, I think is going to head lower. UPBOptionMillionaires.com. We'll see you in the chat room. Everyone have a great trading session. Goodbye.